Okay, so this is an air pump by Hidom or Hidom. This is the biggest version of the HD version they do, which is 6 watt, which is 2 outlets of 2.5 litres per minute. This is the biggest one they do, as you can see there. I've actually got the 603, which is a 4 watt as well. That's running the test scenarios in there with the homemade filter and the moving bed filter. Now, I wanted this one because I found the other one very quiet for what it is. Now, it's not really the right question. People ask, oh, I want a really quiet air pump. To be honest, I want a reliable air pump. The noise comes with the ground, really, because at the end of the day, these are going to make noise. Okay, reciprocating air pumps are going to make a noise, and these things are just the same. Also, bubbles, you know, you're going to get the noise from bubbles. You could probably hear it in the background. So let's get the box open. Let's have a look what's inside. Okay, that's what you get in the box. Now, this is quite a big unit. I mean, these I would consider probably pond air stones. They are huge, about 2 inches, maybe a little bit more in diameter. You get 2 back check valves, which is a very good thing. You should really use these, to be fair. You've got a, well, it's a joiner really for the airline. Okay, I'm not sure why you'd need that if you've got 2 outlets. But this is good because you could put both outlets into one tube. Now this is quite a big unit. It's fully adjustable, as you can see on the top. We're going to test that in the basin as we normally do. But that's my hand, okay? That's the size of it. That's my hand, okay? And it's really weird because they don't actually mention on the box anywhere about the extra kit. But they all come with it. My 603 came with it. Obviously different air stones, very small air stones compared to this. But for the price I paid for this, which is half the price of the Hidom equivalent, okay? So the 6 watt Hidom air pump, okay, was double the price, all right? And for the kit you get in here, thumbs up so far, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test this differently than I did last time, okay? I'm going to use one air stone. But I'm also going to use a sponge filter. The reason I'm using the sponge filter is because of the resistance. Yeah, I get that. But these are huge. I mean, they weigh a ton. Okay, so I'm going to get it set up and we'll have a look. So this is how I've got it sorted out. So they're equal lengths of pipe. Now everyone's going to say, why aren't you using the non-return valves? Anyone knows if you have the air pump above the tank, you don't need it. I've got this sponge filter, £10 off Amazon, and that's what comes with it. Now, these were a little bit fiddly to get on. I don't know why companies do not make them slightly larger so they make them easier. Point a note. And I've set it to the minimum cycle. So I'm going to get these wet. Now that's going to take a few minutes because this won't sink straight away. You've got to keep squeezing it out of the water. So I'm going to quickly do that. We are both in the tank. So you can see it's all there. So let's turn it on the lowest setting. Okay. There's the noise. Not too bad actually, there's more noise coming from the bubbles itself. I will show you how to stop that in a later video, so stay tuned for that. So let's start pumping some air through this. Wow, look at that, that's cavitating. That is an exceptional amount. Now one thing I have noticed is you've got one single, so you have to adjust both together. On its maximum load it is quite loud, to be fair, but let me try something. Okay, so the adjustments are separate. I've noticed something. Look, when I shut this one down, okay, that's made no difference to that. It has to that, so they are single pipes in here. Let's try the same with the other side. Shut that down. Okay, so that's the other test. Right, so now what I'm going to do is a little test that I used to use years ago when I used to use sponge filters. So there's a lifting pipe, so I've just lifted it out of the water slightly. Now I've already tested this, but I'm going to put it back on again. It's still on, let me see. I'll put it on minimum for a minute. As you can see, the water coming out of that. There you go. So that is moving quite a lot of water out of the uplift tube, which I think is fantastic. Now, just to let you know, I'm actually using warm water, and the reason I'm using warm water in this particular experiment is because cold water holds more oxygen, warm water holds less oxygen, and therefore it saturates a little bit quicker. Now, when I checked this, and how I checked this was with a 1 litre bottle of water, and I put that over the tube, and as it was lifting out, it took about 3 minutes, okay, to actually fill the 1 litre bottle of water. So that's not as good as I would expect, but that is a very fine sponge filter. So you know, one with a harder sort of pores per inch would be a little bit better actually. But that air stone is fantastic you get with it. Can't really see that. I'm going to put it in the tank anyway, just as an air stone. I might even swap it over for the air lines I've got already in there. Let's see how much difference it really makes. And there you go. That, see those air bowls? That is the reason, my friends, that you have a back check valve. Okay, so I'm putting this on the minimum, and we're going to start it up. Let's just press this. Now, one thing I've noticed about the quality of the stuff that comes with it, the tube is very crunched, and also fine bubbles, not so fine bubbles. Okay, so there's the unit there. Okay, let's turn it up to max. As you can hear, that's quite loud, but guys, that's moving so much air, that is incredible. So I'm going to run this on the, I think on that and on that. That's nearly concluded. We've got about another 2 weeks on that to conclude. This, as you can see, hasn't really changed, so I'm not really bothered about that. I might even stick biomedia in it. And there you go. So I'm going to get the sponge filter in now and just show you the difference, okay? And there you go. Now, as I keep saying, people don't get that noise. Hear it? I've got a video coming that's going to show you to get rid of that and still be very efficient on your sponge filters. So there we have it. Excellent work, and I would say stick, that's a bit, for me that's a little bit loud, okay. I would go for the 603, fully adjustable, 2 outlets. This one's a bit too loud for me. That's your comparison, by the way. So for me, 603, maybe a 604, but this big one is a little bit too loud. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great weekend.